Many believed that Bob Marley was a force to be reckoned with, which is true. However, it will surprise you to discover that there is a bigger force behind Bob Marley, Rita Marley. While many see Bob Marley on stage, behind the scenes is his wife, who is in charge and in control of it all. She is not just his wife, but the life of the Marley Empire. Who is Rita Marley, and how did she handle so much power?
And he was doing this song that I found that he wrote about Cindy.
Rita Marley, the first wife of Bob Marley, proves to be a powerful influence in the entertainment industry just like her husband. Rita, though unseen when her husband was alive, has gotten the spotlight after his passing. Rita's luxury, net worth, and affluence amaze many. In the midst of it all, she got entangled in a web of controversies that was enough to destroy her empire. But Rita survived it all. In this video, get ready to explore the lifestyle, luxury, net worth, family, and philanthropy of the legendary Rita Marley. According to Celebrity Net Worth, Rita Marley, the Cuban-born Jamaican singer, has a mind-blowing net worth of $50 million. Oh yeah, it's mind-blowing because no one expected her to have amassed so much wealth. When Bob Marley was still alive, Rita was one of his backup singers. Hidden in the backstage was a woman full of great wealth and riches. Later, she took a bold step and started her career as a solo artist. And from her many album releases, she was able to increase her net worth. Albums like Who Feels It Knows It and We Must Carry On did not just make headlines, they also increased her wealth. Also, when Bob Marley died in 1981, he was worth $11.5 million. However, he died without a will because his Rastafarian faith prohibited acknowledging his mortality. According to Jamaican law, when someone dies without a will, 10% of their estate is distributed to their widow. Because of this law, Rita was able to inherit his wealth. When she got his wealth, she increased it. Celebrity Net Worth shared that she accumulated an additional 45% share of the estate for a total of 55%. Being the savvy investor that she is, Rita invested heavily in real estate, although she suffered a significant loss. In 2010, her recording studio in Aquapim Mountain, Ghana, was destroyed by fire. The property was estimated to be worth $20 million. Rita also has a home in Nassau, Bahamas, known as La Ronda. She put the house on the market for $980,000 in August of 2020. The house features a 3,900 square foot estate with 3 bedrooms and bathrooms. The house also boasts another 45,629 square foot lot. Rita has other investments that are not publicly known. However, one thing is certain, Rita Marley is worth millions. Rita Marley was born in Santiago de Cuba. Her parents are Leroy Anderson and Cynthia Beta Jarrett. When she was 3 years old, her family relocated to Kingston, Jamaica. For Rita, growing up meant being raised in a vibrant yet challenging neighborhood of Trenchtown. She wasn't raised with the same love and comfort that others were exposed to. For instance, her parents were unable to build a happy marriage, and they later got divorced. In her memoir, No Woman, No Cry, My Life with Bob Marley, Rita shared how her Aunt Viola raised her after her parents' divorce. Her aunt raised her in Trenchtown, which also turned out to be a hub for aspiring musicians. Growing up hearing sounds, beats, and lyrics influenced her greatly and made her desire to explore the music path. Additionally, her rich cultural environment and struggles instilled in her a passion and a desire to help others, particularly her community.
Yeah, that was Peter. Those were the days of the Wailers.
After going through a tough childhood, Rita was not discouraged from pursuing her dreams. And this is what led her to join the Soulettes. She became a founding member of the band with her cousins Constantine Walker and Marlene Gifford. Gradually, the Soulettes began making their albums and releasing various recordings. These included rock-steady tunes such as Time for Everything and Turn, 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 which was released in 1966. Folk singer Pete Seeger wrote the song. The Molettes released more music and increased their popularity. Songs like Ada Pandem Friends and Lovers, One More Chance, and That Ain't Right were released by them. Also a duet, Bless You, was recorded by Rita and Bunny Wailer. This duet was issued years later on the Lovers and Friends album. After recording for Studio One and being coached by Bob Marley, Rita married Bob around February of 1966. After their marriage, Bob moved to Wilmington, Delaware for a few months, and while he was there, he was busy working at the DuPont Hotel. During his absence, Bob was replaced by her cousin Constantine Walker. Walker recorded a few songs as a member of the Wailers during this period, with Rita providing harmonies. When Bob was done working, he returned at the end of the summer of 1966. Then Bob, Bunny Wailer, and Peter Tosh created their independent label, Wailin' Soul. Through this label, they released several records like Bend Down Low, Hypocrites, and Tosh's Dem Happy Get a Beatin'. All these songs were released between 1966 and 1968. Then things soon started going south with the group when Bunny was jailed for possessing substances. This happened in 1968. Due to this, Rita joined the Wailers, replacing Bunny for a few months. Upon her arrival in the band, the Wailers met American singer Johnny Nash. Johnny produced a series of Wailers' rocksteady recordings, and later in April of 1968, Johnny's manager, Danny Sims, signed Tosh, Rita, and Bob. After signing them up, he gave them exclusive publishing, management, and production contracts in exchange for a few dollars and an opportunity to record in Kingston for the New York-based JAD label owned by Johnny Nash, musician Arthur Jenkins, and Sims. It was a mutually beneficial deal. Musicians on this 1968 Wailer session featured Tosh and the Marleys. Rita Marley sang vocals on a dozen fine rocksteady and soul tracks, most of which were not issued at the time. New recordings of Bend Down Low and Mellow Mood were issued as a single in the U.S. under the name Bob, Rita, and Peter. It was obvious Rita was making progress. However, the spotlight was never on her, but on Bob. Later, the original 1968 sessions, featuring all the original musicians and without the horns, were finally released on the Freedom Time album in 2003. JAD's partner in France issued it after producer Bruno Blum finally mixed them in Paris from the original 4-track tapes. One song, Play, 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 features Rita Marley on lead vocals with harmony sung by Peter and Bob Marley. After this, another Rita Marley sung tune, Lonely Girl, was released. Rita later did a pop duet with Bob, Milkshake and Potato Chips. All these were finally released in 2003 on the Rebel JAD long box set. Due to family engagements, Rita took a break for a while. She was focused on caring for her husband and children. However, after the birth of their second child, Ziggy Marley, in 1968, she returned to work. In 1969, she began working the night shift at a Chrysler factory. Later, Bunny came back to the Wailers at the end of 1968 and Rita had to leave. She was unable to record with Bob until 1974 when her husband formed the I3 Harmony vocal group. This gave her another shot at music. The vocal group featured Marcia Griffiths and Judy Mowat to replace Peter and Bunny. The duo had left the band in 1973. Together with the I3, Bob Marley and the Wailers recorded the album Natty Dread. They released this recording in 1974. In the album was a track that stood out and earned them the fame they needed, No Woman, No Cry. After releasing this album, they rose to international stardom. 2 years later, they released another album called Rastaman Vibration. The album features the track Roots Rock Reggae. Later, on December the 3rd of 1976, 2 days before the Smile Jamaica concert, a large free concert was organized by Bob Marley with the support of Jamaican Prime Minister Michael Manley, Rita, Bob, and manager Don Taylor as well. Unfortunately, they were all wounded in an attack on the Marley home by gunmen. After a series of investigations, it was discovered that these gunmen were connected to Manley's enemies. Rita survived a shot to the head, and Taylor sustained serious injuries from being shot in the leg. Bob, on the other hand, had a bullet skid his chest and wound his arm, but he played his major role in Kingston with Rita by his side. Although Rita was helpful and supportive of Bob's career, many people were unaware of her impact. Later in 1982, she purchased Ken Corey's Federal Records recording studio to advance her music career. Gradually, she desired more and went ahead to buy the island's first pressing plant. The company subsequently moved from 56 Hope Road to 220 Marcus Garvey Drive, where it continues to operate to this day. She also got the Tough Gong Studio. The studio is reportedly one of the largest in the Caribbean, featuring the second largest live recording space on the island. Artists, musicians, producers, and tourists from around the world travel to visit the facility. In 1986, Rita became creative. She decided to convert Bob Marley's home into the Bob Marley Museum. Also, she is the founder and chairwoman of the Robert Marley Foundation, Bob Marley Trust, and the Bob Marley Group of Companies. Numerous ups and downs marked Rita Marley's career, but against all odds, she had to fight and struggle her way to the top. Today, she's earned a name for herself not as Bob Marley's wife, but as Rita Marley, the force behind the Marley Empire. With so much at her disposal, let's explore how she spent her luxuries. One of Rita Marley's properties is her historic home located in Nassau, Bahamas. She listed the house for sale for $980,000. Now let's dive into the property. The home, called La Ronda, was built in 1920 by a rum runner during Prohibition. La Ronda features a blocked-off tunnel. According to a release, the tunnel reportedly runs from the basement to the sea. There are reports that the property's uniqueness makes it worth every dime. In addition to its historic beginnings, La Ronda was one of the few homes in the area left intact following the Great Hurricane of 1929. About the property, the listing from Engel and Volkers says La Ronda is a home that has a unique story to tell. Authentic architectural features are reflective of a commitment to its history and perfectly embody this one-of-a-kind brick beauty. The property also has 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. The home was well structured and had ceramic tiles and wood floors. Additionally, the property features a living area that connects to a dining room. The kitchen is well updated and enticing to anyone who loves to cook. The house has a backyard designed for the relaxation and comfort of its users. It features a spacious swimming pool and well-maintained garden. To add to the beauty of the property, a 1-bedroom guest cottage was also provided. Also, there are reports that upon purchase, the owners get to enjoy a 2-year membership to Nassau's Palm Cay Beach Club. The listing shared more details. Much of the detail throughout this home was carefully selected and provides an abundance of charm, giving the home the potential to meet modern luxury. There is plenty of potential for the savvy investor or even the first-time homebuyer. Rita also had another property in Albury, Ghana. To her, the home is more than just a residence. It's a place that reveals her deep connection to the country and its people. Located in the serene foothills of the Aquapine Mountains, her house can be seen as a haven for creativity. Also, it provided her the opportunity to connect with her adopted homeland. Occasionally, Rita welcomed guests, and with their presence, she revealed more of her love for Ghana and its rich culture. She was a bold proclaimer of this. The home's design and decor also reflect the warmth and hospitality that define Ghanaian culture. This made it possible to create a welcoming atmosphere that embraced both tradition and modern upkeep. Rita Marley's home also offers a glimpse of her Ghanaian life. She has often expressed her appreciation for the country's beauty and uniqueness. Apart from these houses, Rita may have other luxury houses hidden away from the public. Additionally, the iconic Rita Marley did not spend lavishly on accessories like other women. Instead, she kept her jewelry and clothing simple.
Great Bob Marley, he was Robert. He was more of a laid-back.
Bob and Rita Marley's love story was never well documented. Rather, the information obtained was that Bob married Rita in Kingston, Jamaica on February the 10th of 1996. Their marriage turned out to be a fruitful one as their careers blossomed. Rita gave birth to 3 children for Bob, and she had 2 others from her past relationships. Bob made sure to adopt all of her children and gave them the Marley name. So now let's explore their lives. Sharon Marley, born on November the 23rd of 1964, is Rita's biological daughter and Bob's adopted daughter. Sharon took after her mother. She ended up becoming a Jamaican reggae singer. She was in the group Ziggy Marley and the Melody Makers, along with her younger half-siblings. She performed exceptionally well in the group, and as a result, she has won 3 Grammy Awards. Cedella Marley Minto, born August the 23rd of 1967, is also a dear child to Rita. Like her sister, Cedella also became a reggae singer, joined the Melody Makers, and won 3 Grammy Awards. Cedella took after their mother and gave to philanthropy. She is the acting director of the Bob Marley Foundation that seeks to deliver social interventions throughout Jamaica through educational and community development initiatives. Additionally, in 2014, the Jamaica women's national football team was disbanded due to a lack of funding from the nation's football federation. When Cedella heard this, she became the team's benefactor. Through the foundation, she was able to raise enough money for the team to reform and hire the team's coach, Hugh Menzies. Since then, Cedella has continued to support the team through their unexpected qualification for the 2019 FIFA Women's World Cup. Rita also gave birth to David. David Marley, born October the 17th of 1968, is a Jamaican reggae singer. David led the family band, Ziggy Marley and the Melody Makers, until 2002. Through the band, he has released 8 studio albums. However, after the band disbanded, he launched a very successful solo career, releasing 8 solo studio albums through his label. For David, Bob was his role model. He made sure to continue his father's practice of recording and self-releasing all of his music. David is an 8-time Grammy Award winner and a recipient of the Daytime Emmy Award. Rita's last child with Bob Marley is Stephen Robert Nesta Marley. Stephen was born on April the 20th of 1972. He is a Jamaican-American musician. Stephen is an 8-time Grammy Award winner, 3 times as a solo artist, and twice as a producer of his younger paternal half-brother, Damian Marley's Halfway Tree and Welcome to Jam Rock albums, and a further 3 times as a member of his older brother Ziggy Marley's group Ziggy Marley and the Melody Makers. Rita gave birth to Stephanie, Sharon, and Sarita when she was with Owen Stewart. Their children also turned out fine.
I didn't feel like I was a wife. I felt like I was...
Rita Marley has faced her share of troubles in life and has been embroiled in several controversies within her marriage. One of them was that Bob and Rita considered having an affair a mutual thing in their marriage. However, the reverse seems to be the case, as Rita shared in her memoir, No Woman, No Cry, My Life with Bob Marley. In her book, she wrote that on many occasions, when Bob wanted to sleep with her, she would refuse to do so. Why? She knew he was having unprotected intercourse with other women. Sometimes, Bob didn't care and went ahead anyways. During an interview with The Voice, Rita shared that it was a criminal offense because she never consented to it. She said the matter was being blown out of proportion by the British tabloid press and accused the media of being out to get her. She said, "The way the guy put it in the newspaper, he made it look like Bob had me by the neck. When you think about it, you ask yourself whether a husband can forcefully sleep with his wife. Bob, who had many affairs, was never faithful to Rita. When he had an affair with the 1976 Miss World Cindy Breakspear, people started talking, and Rita was not spared from their gossip." While reflecting on Bob's affairs, Rita told BBC Caribbean Service that the extramarital affairs were painful, but she had to endure because she was in love with Bob. "As they say, you grunt and bear it. That's what I had to do because I was so in love with this man, and love grew stronger. It's not that it grew weaker. It's a natural thing. Jamaican men have a thing where they want to be with more than one woman and more than one pinkney. I had to see it, as I may not be getting the wife's treatment, but he's my brother," she said. Rita further shared that she was so distraught and bothered by the whole situation that she roamed the streets of central London, pleading with her dead husband for forgiveness. Another controversy was concerning Bob's will. Before his passing, he had not written a will, and she was accused of milking his legacy. Her mother-in-law, Cedella Booker, once described her as this, "So she black, and so is her heart black." Bob's former manager joined in the battle and accused Rita in his autobiography of setting up offshore accounts to siphon her late husband's £30 million estate. Rita fought tooth and nail to prove her innocence. However, the incident nearly traumatized her. She shared, "I suffered years of criticism, but there was a point in my life where I had to stand up and say, I don't care what anybody says about me. I have to stand up for my family, for the 4 children I had with Bob, and the 8 he had with other women." Rita Marley has given generously to the public and to helping others. Apart from the Bob Marley Foundation, Rita has established other foundations, one of which is the Rita Marley Foundation. Her foundation focuses on alleviating poverty among people in developing and less developed countries. Also, they desire to eradicate hunger in specific communities. The foundation, which donors have consistently supported, has been of great help to many people. Rita Marley's story reflects a woman's resilience and strong resolve to make a name for her life despite her challenges. So, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think she should have done things better? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching, and kindly click on the next video on your screen.